The Arewa Coalition for Truth and Justice is in receipt for the exploit of Nigerian Army in the fight against Boko Haram terrorists that led to the killing of the Imam and spiritual head of Boko Haram, as well as 6 commanders of the group in a recent onslaught in northeast Nigeria. This feat is indeed a welcome development and indication that the Nigerian Army is indeed living up to expectation to its effort at riding the northeast of the remnants of Boko Haram terrorists in their various hideouts. The Arewa Coalition for Truth and Justice, having followed the operation of the Nigerian Army in northeast Nigeria, state that this feat is an indication of what to expect in the coming months with regard to the curtailing the nefarious activities of the Boko Haram group. There is no element of doubt whatsoever as regards the strength, capacity, and professionalism of the Nigerian Army to deal decisively with the Boko Haram group, as evident in the killing of the spiritual leader of the group and 6 top commanders of the group. The Arewa Coalition for Truth and Justice wishes to use this medium to call on all stakeholders to continue to lend their support to the Nigerian Army as it continues to push for the final decimation of the remnant of the Boko Haram terrorist group. We also state that no one should make any mistake anywhere that the Boko Haram terrorists can overwhelm the Nigerian Army, as this can only happen when we discourage the fighting force and their commanders. That is only when the Boko Haram terrorists would have the impetus to plant dangerous explosives to attack the troops. The Arewa Coalition for Truth and Justice believes that with the right support for the Nigerian Army, tangible results will be achieved within 6 months in the fight against terrorism in northeast Nigeria. It is instructive to state that the war against Boko Haram terrorism has lingered because the Nigerian Army hasn't received the needed support by the political leadership in northeast, unlike northwest, that the Nigerian Army has received tremendous support that has resulted in the recent successes in the fight against armed banditry. We wish to call on all critical stakeholders to extend their support to the Nigerian Army in operation in northeast Nigeria in their bid to curtail the threat posed by the Boko Haram terrorist group. This is indeed the time for all hands to be on deck in this critical point in the war against terrorism and other acts of criminalities across the country. The Nigerians must come to terms that the success of operations of the Nigerian Army is indeed the success of the country at large. It consequently behoves on all discerning Nigerians to put our sentiment aside and be guided in our action and inactions towards the effort of the Nigerian Army in its various operations across the country. The Arewa Coalition for Truth and Justice is buoyed by the recent exploit by the Nigerian Army and pledges to continually mobilize support for its operation across all divides in the country. The imperativeness of this action cannot be lost on us if we are desirous of seeing the end of Boko Haram crisis in northeast Nigeria. The Arewa Coalition for Truth and Justice commends the leadership of the Nigerian Army, as well as the officers, soldiers in the theater of operation in northeast Nigeria for their display of gallantry